Hi, this is Matthew from Perceptive. In this lesson, I'm going to talk about sunk costs and the irrational value customers have of their investments. We've all made big purchases at some point in our life, and you're probably familiar with that feeling of it being your baby. That's because we don't just care for our purchases because we've spent money on them, but because they become part of our identity. For example, the new phone, the subscription magazine, a website membership, or a new car. As much as we might not like the idea, these things define us. After all, we own them because we personally made the decision to own it. And because they define us, we also defend our choice, even if it has flaws. And we also continue to use it rather than admit to people that we've made a mistake as a result. Over time, we become more invested in our purchases. There are ways in which we can increase the level of ownership a customer has for a product, right to the point that the customer cannot bear to let it go, just by encouraging them to sink in more money. For example, how many times have you heard the argument of being unable to swap to Android because someone has bought many apps for their iPhone? These micro purchases effectively create a stronger attachment between the product and the customer, and it's not even that logical, because the customers will frequently exaggerate the total value they've invested because they've lost track of it all, resulting in them becoming locked into using a product. So knowing how people become irrational about the amount of money they've spent makes it possible to design a subscription service that's a little more difficult to give up. By adding a small setup fee up front, we can start building barriers for making it less desirable for the customer to cancel and restart at will. By further adding in one-off micropayments to your subscription, the customer is encouraged to sink deeper into ownership. The more small purchases attributed to their account, the harder they will find it to cancel.